Hi everybody. In today's lesson, I just want to go over a quick little kind of way to access a different sound on the mandolin that you may not have come across before. It's called palm muting, and it sounds like this. So if you're interested in doing that, I will show you that in just a few seconds here. If you're interested in more tune or song-based lessons, I've got tons of those over at mandolessons.com, as well as a couple ways to donate, which helps me keep these lessons free and ad-free, things like that. That said, the lessons will always be free. So let's get back to today's lesson. Palm muting. It's a kind of a simple idea. It can take a little bit of getting used to, just to sort of get your hand in the right position, and everybody's right hands are a little bit different. So just kind of, the way our hands are built are a little different. So just, you got to figure out what works and is comfortable for you to get that kind of muted sound. But ultimately, here's an unmuted open string. And then here is that same idea with palm muted. So it's just kind of a cool different sound. It really kind of softens the sound of the instrument considerably, and it's a nice sound to have at your disposal. So what you're going to be doing is kind of down here at the bridge, you're going to be using your right hand, and what I end up doing is kind of, if my palm's open, I try to get just past the bridge. I'm not trying to mute way up here. That'll just totally mute the strings. If I try to palm mute up here, it just totally mutes the strings. But if you get this sweet spot just past the bridge, so you're just on the fretboard side of the bridge, you just end up muting. You can even do it with your, if you take your left hand, and let's go over the G string here. If you're behind the bridge, you get, your regular open string sound. And then if you get just on the other side, mutes it. And if you go too far, you totally mute it. But there's this nice spot where the string's still able to ring. And that's what you're looking for with your right hand. You just want your palm, or really I'm using kind of this chunk of my hand. And that'll be a little different for everyone, just sort of depending on what's comfortable for you and, how your hands are built. But you're looking to just get just enough on the fingerboard side of the bridge to get a nice kind of softened, deadened sound. It takes away a little bit of the sustain, it takes away some of that kind of higher harmonics, and you just get this nice, dull, tubby sound. And it's great for, sometimes it's a good way to be a little quieter if you're in a musical ensemble where you need to, play some sort of accompanying idea, but, you don't want to be going. You can really mute it down, a little bit of palm mute. And just as a reference, just kind of going back and forth with my right hand, and that first chord is open G string, 5th fret on the D string, and then is open G string and 3rd fret on the D string, which is an F natural. 5th and 3rd, 5th and 3rd, 5th, 3 3, 5 3 3, 5 3 3, 5 3 3 versus unmuted. A lot louder, a lot kind of brassier versus that nice soft muted sound. a little more delicate. So, one thing that you have to do here that kind of breaks one of my rules when I was kind of talking about proper technique is I really am a big fan of not planting my hand when I'm playing normally. Being nice and relaxed in my right arm. When you do this palm mute, you do need to plant a little. You need, your hand is planted on the string, so it does kind of lock up your elbow a little bit and locks up it kind of makes you use your wrist more. But just, don't try to do it too hard at first, and don't do it for too long, and you shouldn't do any, you won't do any damage, but, don't sit there for 2 hours going, because that's just a lot of, you can even just see my wrist, it's a lot of movement for my wrist to do and nothing for my elbow to do, versus, which is much more natural sounding and feeling. So I hope that helps. Again, just a quick little idea on palm muting. It takes a little bit of time to, get a natural sense of where your hand should go when you're kind of trying to get that mute. So as a practice, what you can do is maybe play a little bit of a scale and then mute it. Whatever, you just play a little muted and then unmuted, muted, unmuted, and get used to that feeling. And then, play around with it in different musical settings and see where it sounds good, where it's a nice kind of sound to add, and when it doesn't really work. And that's a great way to become more expressive with that technique, and kind of use it to your advantage. So I hope that helps. Again, more lessons over at mandolessons.com, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.